Getting the workout in while I watch this Bitcoin dump. I know you might be asking yourself, is this the dead cat bounce? Are we going back to 30K or below? Well, historically, if you look at Bitcoin, that's actually pretty likely. And I know what you're thinking right now as I talk about this. There's only one thing going through your mind as you're watching your investments get lower and lower and lower, and possibly boil over into a shit of devastation and hemorrhoids. I know what it is. Alex, how do you have such huge buys? And it's easy to notice. You guys probably see me holding giant bags in crypto. See, I don't suffer from baguette hands in projects that actually matter. I'm not a wee French small boy who drops his bags the first sign. And you might be suffering from this because you don't lift weights in every free moment of your free time like I do. I even do it in videos. You see how many times I've moved this 15-pound weight in the last minute? This is how you become the #1 orange eating champion in the Florida tri-state area. That said, let's talk about it. Because frankly, jokes aside, guys, this could be the dead cat bounce. We could be going back to 30K. If you look at the charts back in 2018, in fact, Bitcoin, I'll show you the chart here in a second, had a 100% bump. It went from around 6K after its big major crash back up to 11K, and then and everybody hates me for saying this shit. It's okay because I hate you right back. But what I want to talk about in this video is what we're looking at right here. If you're new to this, what we're probably looking at, and the two likely scenarios, because I really only see two likely scenarios right here. Does this mean this is guaranteed to happen? No. Bitcoin's extremely difficult to call, but there's a lot of signals, there's a lot of things going on right now that really make me ponder if the momentum's going to keep back up. And I'm going to show you what I'm investing in regardless of what it does. I'm not selling my bags right now, and my bags are not in Bitcoin, so I literally don't give a shit what Bitcoin does. And my bags are going to pump regardless of what Bitcoin does here in the next few months, here in the next year. And so, again, I don't care, but you should be aware of this and you should be aware of what the space is doing. So let's get into it. On top of that, super quickly, if you want to see things that I'm looking at way sooner, follow me at ZSS Becker. I'm also leaving breadcrumbs about the projects I'm actually looking at. I will never straight up say I'm buying this project because then it will pump. But the people that actually engage with me, read the comments, see my replies, you're going to see the little breadcrumbs about what I'm looking at, and I make them pretty hard to find so there isn't a pump created, but then you're able to actually get in the projects early, and I can help my most engaged followers instead of pumping them clowns that just check videos and buy whatever an influencer says. So follow me at ZSS Becker. It's a cool place to be. I also act like a fool on there. I apologize. So let's look at what's going on in the market first and foremost. So we got Bitcoin right here. It's taken not a huge dip. Okay, we're not seeing the end of the world dip right now, but what's happening is a little bit alarming for a few reasons. First off, go read the comments. There's going to be so many people that read just the headline of this video and say, Becker's saying it's going to dump, I'm buying. You dumb, silly bitches. I don't even buy Bitcoin. I don't hold Bitcoin because I'm not an idiot like you. I actually like to make money and gains in crypto. But for those of you who do, we have to understand that Bitcoin does control the overall market. And what I'm saying in this video is I don't know what Bitcoin is going to do. No one does. If that's going to require you saying, oh, he says it's going to go up or down. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm doing right here is I'm analyzing the possible outcomes and thinking of how I can position myself regardless of what outcome happens to have maximum benefit, because we just don't know what Bitcoin's going to do right here. Because there's a lot of good metrics, there's a lot of bad metrics. So the thing we need to look at right here is that momentum is really stalled after this parabolic rise right here. We just had this massive rise up from $30,000 and it didn't stop at all. And so it would be natural to see a really big pullback right now. In fact, it would be healthy. If we kept going any higher, the higher you go without a pullback, the bigger pullback you're going to see. The issue with this is this big nasty elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about. If you look at every major bubble, every major bust, outside of crypto, in crypto, it moves like this. We can go back to 2018 right here. We can see Bitcoin's insane dip right here. Went from 12,000 all the way down to 6,000, a 50% dip. Does it seem like something that happened lately? Yes. And then it bumped all the way up to almost $12,000, almost 100% rise. Everybody was screaming, they were back to normal. This is anybody who sold, baguette hands making fun of them, calling everybody paper hands, acting like a genius, and then everyone really lost all their money then. Okay, so this was like your last chance to get out then. So if we look at this right now, what does this chart look like? What does it look like it's happening? So you have to factor in right now that this could be a dead cat bounce, because dead cat bounces like this are the default. I know people are going to get mad at me. They're going to scream. They're going to say Alex is saying the market's going to go down. That's what happens when a bubble bursts. It has this dead cat bounce almost every single time. And if you won't consider that, you won't factor that into your thinking, you are literally, I say this super politely with the utmost respect, a idiot. I'm sorry. Go get your crown box out. Write me an angry letter. I don't care. You have to address this. Now, what I think is far more likely to happen right here is we are going to see a big ass pullback because people are really afraid of what happened in 2018 happening. But, and the scariest part about this is there is not any institutional investors. Like, big money is not buying at this price. They're not. They're holding at this price, which is very good, but they're not buying. Massive funds have no interest in a $47,000 Bitcoin. In fact, they're buying CryptoPunks over Bitcoin, which is going to be something I'm going to talk about here in a second. That being said, what I think is far more likely to happen, but I'm prepared for both situations, is we're going to see something more like this. This is a, Twitter acquaintance of mine, Theo. He's probably my favorite line drawer. And what I'm thinking is going to happen is a lot more like this. I think we're going to go up, and I think we're probably going to go down to 40, 38,000, something like that. Okay. And this point right here, this is such an insanely good buying opportunity. I'm going to be buying a lot of the coins I'm going to be talking about here in a second. I'm looking at these. My appetite's wet. Okay. You can see how excited I am. I'm stuttering and mumbling my words. I even had to lift weights to calm down before this video. But I think we're going to see this. Okay. The reason for this is that I walk through the airport. I go everywhere. Bitcoin is everywhere. You can't get away from it. I logged into Venmo the other day. They're trying to get me to buy Bitcoin via Venmo. Visa is buying CryptoPunks. Crypto is here. We are seeing the adoption curve, and I don't really like Bitcoin at all. People are going to freak out, but I do acknowledge the fact that it's extremely important to the marketplace. And so what I think you really need to be prepared for right now is to be buying things that are going to be doing well in a bear market if we do see what Bitcoin usually does. Okay, there's never been a time in almost every bubble you're going to see the same bounce up right here. You're going to see it almost every bubble. So we need to be prepared for that, and we need to be looking at assets that are going to do well during this time, or just be prepared to hold. I frankly, if I was sitting on top of some DeFi gym that doesn't have any customers right now, I would not be thrilled about holding right now. That's why I'm not in those. That's why I'm in different things. If you want to do that, that's fine. And there's been plenty of times where I'm wrong. So do whatever the hell you want. This is just my thinking. If it makes you upset that I think different things than you, especially about numbers going up and down, you're an emotionally insecure weirdo. So what I'm prepared to do, though, is I bought assets around right here when they're in their dumpster level prices. And so I'm just fine going back down here or a bit lower. I really don't care. And these assets I think are going to boom in a bear market. So I really don't even think I'm gonna have to wait that long to get my super nut. But I'm also looking to buy more of these assets right here. Because I just think there's just too much adoption. If you look at the Bitcoin metrics, people just aren't selling. They just aren't selling their Bitcoin. Institutions aren't buying, but people aren't selling. So we're at this weird little deadlock right now where big money's not getting in, but people are also not selling their Bitcoin. So what am I doing right now? What I'm focused on right now is stuff like this, okay? So this is a coin with a $226 million market cap. I mentioned a lot of coins on here that have smaller market caps, but I'm not going to give them to you because we'll pump them. And it ruins the bags for everybody. By the way, if you do want to see the coins I'm investing in, follow me on Twitter. What I do in Twitter is in the comments and very subtly or little hints in my wallet. That's where you're going to see what I'm investing in the coins that I'm picking. I'm never going to outright say, for example, buy Chain Guardians. We're up 4x from where I called it on Twitter when I started showing the hints on my wallet. Or buy Cetify, already way up there, so we can't really pump it. And just straight transparency, I'm an advisor for this project because I love it. We're up a 4x from there from where we bought it as well. All these were hinted at and coughed at in my Twitter comments. So follow me on Twitter at ZSSBecker so you can see these things. So you can follow these little riddles, because the way I share things is I don't pump them. I share little riddles when they're dead, and very few people understand them, and then they go nuts. Because they're great projects. Duh. So, speaking about something I was bitching and complaining about on Twitter, is Super Rare released its coin, and they gave me about $50,000 worth at its lowest point right here, around this point right here. And it went up and started crashing, and now it's skyrocketing even while Bitcoin is taking a dump. Why is this happening? It's because Super Rare has $90 to $100 million in sales. It has actual customers. During the bear market, people are not going to stop buying NFTs. The NFT prices might take a hit, but rich people who bought their NFTs at $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, they're not going to panic sell that shit in a bear market. That'd be like me running to the store and selling, if I owned a Rolex because Bitcoin went down, if I stole millions of dollars in the bank. I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to keep buying art. I'm going to be buying things. You're not going to see me rush and sell all the art in my house when Bitcoin crashes. NFTs are going to keep doing well in the bear market. They've already proven they did and that they've decoupled from Bitcoin. Will this price take a hit if Bitcoin goes down to $20,000? Of course. People aren't going to stop buying NFTs. All right, let's look at Axie right here. So this is going parabolic, and I'm not saying buy Axie right now. Gaming cryptos, the reason why I invest in gaming cryptos is because what we're seeing happening in NFTs right now is going to happen in gaming cryptos. It just is. There's 60,000 active wallets on OpenSea, about 3,000 people trading high value NFTs. There is going to be hundreds of millions of active wallets in gaming crypto. We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right here with Axie. That being said, if we look at Axie, yeah, Axie will take a hit in the bear market. People are not going to stop making money on Axie and playing the game. And when we see hotter games than Axie come out, they're not going to stop playing those. It's just, they're not. It's an actual ecosystem that has customers and an actual use case, unlike 95% of crypto. So the parts of crypto that are pure speculation, which is mostly a lot of DeFi, and to a little extent, yes, Bitcoin. I'm not saying these things won't happen and people won't store their value or that DeFi won't happen. I'm saying those are not being used by the mass population right now, and we're way off from that happening. This is happening right now. So what I'm doing is I'm just holding all my gaming projects that I got in the dip at dirt cheap prices. I'm ready to go back to those dirt cheap prices. I'm up 500x. I'm up 300 to 500 to even like 8x on some of them. I really don't care. And I've already seen their lows. If they go back to those lows, I'm fine. But I know that even if Bitcoin takes a dump, these things are going to be coming back way sooner. So go check out, for example, my last video where I talk about gaming land sales, the IDO platforms, the gambling platforms, the IGO drops. Go check out that video. I literally name all the categories and where to find all these things that I think are going to do really well, even if we go into a bear market. And if we don't go into a bear market, that's fine. I'm just going to buy the dip and buy more gaming projects. Because like I said, I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I just don't. We're at this crossroads right now where if we look historically, this is likely going to be a dead cat bounce. But then we have mass adoption, mass cultural acceptance, and every person on planet Earth that's famous or an investor buying cryptocurrency. So I just don't know. It could go either way. Because trust me, in the dot-com boom, everybody was buying dot-com websites too. This wasn't something that just, people were like, yeah, everyone's adopting it too. The biggest firms and everyone was buying into the dot-com boom too. So again, giant names and whatever investing in something doesn't mean this is some safe, secure thing. And I'm sorry if stating that hurts your feelings. Actually, I'm not. If you actually feel that way and you don't think that's a logical argument and it makes you upset, you're just an idiot. And that's okay. Get your crowns. Again, write me a hate letter. It's cool. But for the rest of us that like to analyze every part of a situation, not just the good part, we have to factor that in. And in my opinion, the best thing to do is to factor that in and position yourself in a way where you are likely to win regardless of what's happening. NFTs and gaming especially, which is still so low. NFTs are already on the moon, so you could see a bigger dip in that. They're going to get adopted in the next 1 to 2 years. So I just don't care what it does. I don't care what Bitcoin does. And that's my thoughts on this. If you want to see my thoughts a lot sooner, follow me at ZSS Becker on Twitter. On top of that, again, I'm always posting little riddles. I'm always posting little subtle hints. And the hints are getting weirder and weirder because people figure them out. To help people that actually follow me and actually engage with me on Twitter, see things I'm looking at before people are actually looking at them. Because I can't communicate them in these videos. I can't communicate it actively on Twitter. I have to leave little breadcrumbs. So follow me on CSS Becker if you want to see those. I have nothing else to say.